In the quiet moments, that's where I'll find a little room to breathe, leave it all behind. Give me room to breathe, I need some time to heal my heart, to clear my mind. Gonna love myself, yeah, I believe in the power of me. Just give me room to breathe.
Great new day to all my self-care family and friends. Welcome back to the Room to Breathe podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so glad that you are here. Now, before we jump into today's episode, just a quick reminder. If you're enjoying the vibe, show us some love by tapping the screen, liking, commenting, and sharing. Your support helps us to reach more incredible souls on their healing journey. And if we are not already connected, go ahead and give us a follow, subscribe to the channel, so that way you never miss a moment of what's next. I also invite you to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. We've got some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, and a bunch of free resources waiting on you. It's all about empowering yourself and embracing your journey. No matter what challenges you're currently facing, remember that you're not alone on this path. We're in this together, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. It is time for us to choose to prioritize our well-being, to embrace our growth, and to find peace in this present moment. So let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. And remember, green hearts in our chat represent our commitment to healing, growth, and intentional self-care. So if something resonates with you today, drop a green heart and let us know that you're tuned in, tapped in, and growing with us. Now, let's get ready for today's message. Yeah, I was scrolling through social media and I came across this quote that said, "People don't realize how hard you ride for them until you park." And I was like, "Ooh, that one right there, that's for the givers, right? The grinders and the loyal ones, the day ones, right?" I felt like that message was just for all the ones who are constantly showing up, even when it costs them everything. Miss Sherry, I see you in the building. So I thought that would be an awesome topic for us today. Because, when you really think about it, people don't really realize how much you ride for them until you park the car. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think that this is a truth that many of us are carrying silently. Being the strong one is absolutely exhausting when you really think about it. And so today's podcast is, for the ones who are constantly checking in on everybody else, but rarely gets checked in on. The one who sends out good morning texts and encouraging messages, the just thinking about you notes, right? Because your heart is wired for love, for loyalty, and for light. But over time, that role gets lonely. It becomes heavy. And because you realize that people start to expect your presence and your support, your energy, it's like a subscription that they just never had to pay for. And when you do need someone, when your soul gets tired, when you're grieving, or when life has just hit you hard, all of a sudden it's like crickets. It's so quiet, almost too quiet, right? And, being a giver, you naturally ride for people out of love. But slowly it becomes a habit of like over giving, right? A way of trying to earn love. And, it's like you slowly have this pattern now that you've established of like over giving. And the worst part is you try to believe that your value isn't tied to how much you can do for other people, right? It's not who you are. It's not how your energy lights up the room or how your presence brings peace to people. But you begin to think that it's all in what you do. And I think that that's where the burnout lives, right? That's where the bitterness breeds. That's where your healing begins. And it's because you begin to realize I can't keep being everything for everyone while pretending to be nothing to myself, right? I can't keep showing up every day for everyone else if I don't start showing up for me. And the moment you finally set the boundary, the moment you go radio silent on them, the moment you park the car, oh, that's when they notice, right? But oftentimes at that point, it's too late. It's just too late. And so we need to begin to understand why parking the car is such a power move, right? And I think that starts by us redefining what it means to park, right? And as Sherry said, that's where I'm at right now. Go park the car, get out the car, take the keys with you, lock the doors. Because we have to understand that parking is not a sign of weakness. Ultimately, it's wisdom. It's saying, I have been driving on empty for far too long and I deserve more, right? I deserve better. I deserve to refuel. And listen, I know that you're a lot like me, right? You've been running on fumes emotionally, spiritually, energetically, right? You've skipped meals for people. You've missed sleep. You've pushed your own goals to the side. And it wasn't because you were naive. It was simply because you're genuine. But here's the lesson. Just because people see you as that doesn't mean you have to identify as that. Just because you're capable of carrying it all doesn't mean you are responsible or required to carry it all. And so we have to begin to understand that parking is about pausing before you have the breakdown. It's about saying, I will no longer drain myself to keep other people comfortable. You're not giving up. You're creating boundaries. You're not abandoning them, but you are choosing you. So let me say this with love to everybody listening. If people only value your presence when it's convenient, that's not community. That's consumption. And you are not a resource to be used. You are a soul that deserves to be honored. So when you park, just know that some people are going to fall off, and that's okay. Don't chase what your pause is revealing to you. Don't grieve the loss of people who only loved you while you were in motion. Because the ones who are really for you, they'll show up whether you're riding or you're resting, whether you are loud or quiet, whether you are helping or healing. They don't need you to burn out in order to feel close. Let me take y'all behind the scenes of my own healing for a minute. There was a season not long ago when I was giving to everyone but myself. I was coaching, creating, caregiving, showing up online, holding space for friends, family, clients, but behind the scenes, I was struggling. I felt like I was just running on adrenaline, smiling through the grief, sitting in the silence at night, wondering who pours into me in the way that I pour into them. Like I literally started making a list of all the people who actually poured into me in the same way that I poured into them. And while sitting there journaling and, kind of making this list, I started to realize that I had been stretching myself so thin, literally making myself sick, Give me a second, guys. So yeah, I was literally making myself sick, mentally, spiritually, and even physically. And I started noticing that my body would begin to shut down, right? And before my body shut down. I had to give myself permission to pause, permission to rest, right? And so that's when, I made a decision. It is time for me to park. And by park, it meant that I had to stop texting first. I had to stop chasing check-ins. I stopped showing up in places where I didn't feel safe or seen. And let me tell y'all something. That silence got loud. People started asking, "You good?" Right? But not out of concern. It was because they were confused. They were trying to figure out where was I. They weren't worried about my well-being. They were trying to figure out why I wasn't making sure that they were well. Like, they were shocked that I stopped performing in their play. Right, Miss Sherry? And, there were some people who disappeared completely. And I had to sit with that. And I had to grieve it. I had to accept it. Ultimately, I had to bless it. Because here's what I learned. Some people only love the version of you that benefits them. And when that version sits down, they don't know what to do with the rest of you. But my pause, my parking, that became my peace. It reminded me that I was never too much. I was just performing for the wrong audience. Right? Miss Sherry said, "Did God tell you to say this to me?" Maybe. I don't know. He didn't give me no name, but he said that's the topic today, honey. All right, guys. I want you guys to just spend a moment just to maybe reflect with me. And in doing so, when we're calling these things out and we're bringing these things to the front of the class, it's not about shame. I never want you guys to do anything from a place of shame. I want you to do so from a place of clarity. I want you to think about these 3 questions. Who have I been over-functioning for? Write it down, make a list. Who expects my loyalty but doesn't offer it? Write it down, make a list. Where have I been loud for people who go silent when it's my turn to be held? Add them to the list. See, this is the part where we get real with ourselves. Not bitter, but better. We've got to realize that sometimes you've got to park just to see who notices you're gone. And that visibility, that realization, it's not about revenge. It's about revelation. Here's what I want you to know deep in your spirit. Your presence is powerful. Your energy is expensive. Your time is sacred. You do not owe everyone access to the parts of you that are still healing. Let me say that again. You do not owe everyone access to the parts of you that are still healing. And let's take that a step further. Let's affirm that today, right? Let's know 100% that we are allowed to pause without explanation. I am allowed to pause without explanation. I am not responsible for managing other people's disappointment when I choose myself. I am not responsible for managing other people's disappointment when I choose myself. I do not need to overextend to be loved. I am already enough, right? I don't need to overextend to be loved. I am already enough. And then I release any guilt associated with resting, resetting, and reclaiming my time. I release any guilt associated with resting, resetting, and reclaiming my time. Sometimes it just takes someone else to remind us, right? That we're not breaking down. We're simply building boundaries. I need for you to understand that you are not distancing, you're discerning. You're not parking out of weakness. You're honoring the version of you that's been crying out to be seen. That's healing in motion. That's healing at its finest. That's healing at its finest. I wish I had someone to tell me that at some point. When I was, I guess, really going through things, I really wish I had someone to remind me that it was okay for me to pause, right? That it's okay for me to take a break, to have a moment, to need a reset. We don't get that all the time. But yeah, if you're someone who rides hard for others, just know that you deserve the same kind of love, loyalty, and grace in return. So don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing rest, for choosing peace, for choosing yourself. Yeah, don't let anybody, make you dim your light. You deserve so much more. And I want you guys to remember that you're not too much. You've just been giving too much to the wrong people. And when you finally part, the real ones, they're going to walk with you. They're going to walk with you. The right ones will show up at the right time. So I want you to breathe. I want you to reflect. And I want you to let go of the guilt. You're not selfish for setting boundaries. You are sacred. And you are allowed to protect your energy. Now, I know that today's podcast is so much shorter than the others. This week, you guys, we are traveling, so there'll be a little bit of an adjustment here and there, but I promise to pack an important message in the short time. And when we return home, we'll get back to the much longer podcast. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being you, right? Until next time, this has been another moment, a healing moment on the Room to Breathe podcast. If this episode touched your spirit, go ahead and leave us a review. Be sure to share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And don't forget to drop that green heart so we know that you are here with us on this journey. I encourage you all to head over to selfcareclub.org for more resources, more merch, and an opportunity to connect with other like-minded individuals who are also on their healing journey. Know that we've got everything you need to pour back into you. But until next time, I encourage you all to keep breathing, stay positive, and remember that you will always be supported here at the Self-Care Club. Don't be afraid to take up space and make a little room for you to breathe. I pray that you all have an amazing day on purpose, filled with purpose, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Thank you.